Hey, what's going on, fellow collectors? Let's get to another video, no intro needed. We're looking through some of my money over the last day or two, random bills, and seeing if we can find anything that's worth more than its face value. So if you're new to the channel, we're all about currency and collectibles here, so hit subscribe if you're into that. Series 2017A. Haven't done a bill search in the last couple of days. What am I looking for? Patterns in the serial numbers. I wish this was a 7. I would have probably kept that with, 3157, 3157. That would have been kind of cool. Look at ink issues around the color changing ink on the torch and the 10 here. And then, of course, overall condition, errors, things like that. Nothing jumping out there. And kind of a cool serial number, but nothing crazy. Really looking for star notes and patterns in the serial number. Ink issues or misprints, stuff like that. Holy fours. A little bit of a dot here, a little excessive ink, but super small. I like these 5s. They're supposed to get redesigned and then re-released, I think, in like 2030, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. What in the world? Yeah, just damage, but the T on truss there. If this were actually missing ink, those can be worth a little bit over face value for stuff like that, because it's essentially misprinted or misspelled too, because it's missing a letter. Yeah, 1972. Would have been cool to be a date note. Little lack of ink on this serial number. Let me see if I got a light. Shed some light on the situation. There we go. Ah. Same thing on these 10s too. On the back, there's an anti-counterfeiting measure where there's a bunch of 10s printed. Those are, like I said, an anti-counterfeiting measure, but they make up like a little constellation looking thing. It's kind of like right here. It's called Urian, but mainly though, where they embed that ink in a 3-phase printing process, there can be ink issues. Nothing. The serial number, nice and beat up $1 note. This one's been sneezed on, so that's nice. Nothing there. 1s, 2s, little bit of a stuck digit. If the digits are way off, of course, that can command some value over face value, if I can talk. And nothing going on the back. Keep an eye out. I have a video that talks about a ton of a few videos, but one that was done like a month ago, and it talks about a ton of different reverse errors and issues to look for. Hey, nice little trinary note. I would have liked if this 2 wasn't chilling over here and would have been with the rest of them. But 2 6s and 4s. So a small find. I don't think trinary notes are worth anything more than face value unless they're clumped together or in a really, really cool pattern above the trinary portion. But they're still really neat. They're aesthetically appealing, which I think is what collectors like that do like them. This one's really beat up in a sense. It's also been wet for sure because it's real thinned out. You can't tell, but if you could reach through the camera and hold it, you would. So, but I'm going to set it aside as like a small collectible find. Yeah, nothing here. Some 7s, some 0s. Nothing too crazy. Back of the note, all folded up, beat up, creased up. Worth $1 though. Ah, nice crisp $20 bill. That's always neat. Same dealio, check on the color changing ink. 20s actually have a lot of things going on. There's been quite a few mismatched serial numbers found, especially out of the 2017 series. One was posted to a paper currency group I'm a part of like 2 years ago. But I know the guy sold it for well over $2,000. So it goes to show that if you get it graded, and it's worth the cost of grading, that some of these things are worth tons of money. That guy found it in pocket change too, but he's also a bill hunter like the rest of us. So it just goes to show you can go through your money. Worst case, you would have spent it, still got 20 bucks out of it. Instead, he spotted it and boom, $2,000. And kind of a cool serial number, but I'm not going to hold on to it. On the back, kind of a wet ink transfer. It looks like a thumbprint, but it's kind of the coat of Washington below the letter N there. 411, 411. What's the 411? Nothing going on there. A little bit of something we won't guess what it is. 4746433. Again, some stuck digit action. Little bit of wet ink transfer. Looks like he's got a face tattoo sort of right here. It's either one of two things. In this case, it's not what I'm about to say, which is it's a kind of excessive ink through from the back of the note. But in this case, it's wet ink transfer from another note. So when they print them, they cut them from the sheet and they stack them to make straps or whatever. Sometimes that non-dried ink or excess of ink kind of transfers over. If it's prevalent, it can be worth some good money. But in this case, it's small. Nothing on that. Same dealio, kind of the same thing. You can see it a little better here without me even bringing the bill to the camera. Hey, sevens for days. March 29th of the year, 7,777. I don't even know if the Earth will make it that long, especially at the rate we're going with lots of stuff. Yeah, a little bit of that serial number through the back. I've seen them sell if you can read the whole thing, albeit backwards. In this case, it's not a bad condition $20 note, despite a little... Oh, just to point it out, this little... I see this a lot. Yeah, it's probably just maybe some pen, but a lot of the time it is that. But it's when they have the whole strap of 20s at the bank or a store, and they just run a Sharpie or whatever, a highlighter down the whole side of it, kind of to signify, I guess, that store received them or they processed them into a register. But I see that a lot. Nothing jumping out. We're missing a couple digits here from a kind of mixed ladder or jumbled ladder serial number. And damaged on the back. Getting down there. Last few. It's been an adventure. Similar serial number, 2017, A for Boston. And nothing going on. If you want to know all about the different portions of all the denominations, I have like a 20-minute video on each denomination, and then like an hour-long video that covers all of them, where you can know kind of what these different plate numbers mean, and federal district annotations and all that stuff, which you're like, that sounds boring. But it mainly will point out areas that errors can occur, and that's always good, right? So, nothing jumping out there. 2017A. Nothing on the back. Getting down there. Got some motor oil on him. He looks like the dude from a firebender from The Last Airbender. Anyway. And some excess of that kind of motor oil crap that they got on there. 1881, 7830, lots of 8s, couple of 1s, nothing to call home about. And on the back, nothing too crazy. Another $10. Whoa, two $10 bills. I am rich. 341-25501, nothing crazy there. Flipping it on the back, reverse of the note. Nothing popping out. Oh. Last but not least, a very wet but then dry but then wet then damaged $10 note. For some reason, the signature looks poppin'. Would have been nice if the rest of the note had that condition. Nice and folded down the middle. Condition's 9/10 of the law. So if it was in better condition and it was collectible, then we'd be looking at some money over $10, right? But still worth the money it started out to be, and that's the greatest part about this hobby. Nothing too crazy. I'm holding on to it because it's just a doll hair. It is a trinary note. These are more collectible than anything else, but now that I'm looking at it, it does have a little excess ink on that first 6 there. But mainly, though, a little nice trinary kind of collectible serial number. I'll hold on to it for a bit. It might make it, back out into circulation here in a little while. But let me know what you're coming across in your coin and banknote searches. If you've had better luck than me lately finding that collectible you've always been looking for, let me know what it is in the comments. I love reading about that. Hit subscribe if you enjoy stuff like this. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys. Have an awesome day.